Welcome everybody, LevelM Diecast. Thanks for joining 2025 Matchbox batch review. We do have a new format for 2025. We're going to be a little bit more freestyle with how we do batch reviews for this year. Kicking it off right here, number 51 of 125. This is our Dotson 510 Rally. There is your card art. Looks absolutely fantastic. There is the model in the package. Of course, brand new Art Deco for 2025. This has been covered quite a bit. We've done some case unboxings for this batch as well. A little bit of details on the back. T34 is the day code for this particular assortment mix. You go right there, assortment 30782, JBP45. Get right into this with our Dotson 510 Rally. Again, a little bit new style this year, changing things up as we always like to do. There is our Dotson 510 Rally. It does have deco on both sides. This model only gets 2 passes, so there isn't any deco on the top. There is the deets on the side, MBK Assembly. It says on the side, Dotson DER, Desert Endurance Racing, something that Matchbox has been doing for quite some time. Aristo Tan turbos in the back. A little bit of super fine print on there. It says sponsored by Diecast Enthusiasts. So very, very cool little deco on there. Number 25 does don the disc hub wheels with just a little bit of orange chrome print around the ring. Looks very, very good. No prints on the front, no prints on the top. As mentioned, does have integrated cargo on there, which is part of the casting. And of course, the other side is the exact same deco. Gray base on this particular one right here. MB1023 is your man number for the Dotson 510 in baby blue. Looking pretty good. All right, next one up in the mix, 61 of 125. This is our Mercedes-Benz CLA shooting brake. There is your card art right there in blue. Looking very, very, very nice. A little bit of leaves and debris flying up. This dons the relatively new lace wheel. Lace wheel did debut, I believe, last year, early last year, or potentially late 2023. So this wheel has not seen too many of them. You do see I have a little bit of an error on this one. A little bit of silver print is lacking, but not too much. Just a little bit on the edge. Looks okay though. The lace wheel looks pretty good. I think that wheel looks pretty good. Does don this model as a pretty good fit with it. This does have both front and rear decos. There is your Mercedes-Benz logo right there in the front. Looks very, very good. Decos on the side, non-existent, but that's perfectly fine. It's not needed. And then, of course, there is your taillight details on there with your Mercedes logo and the taillights done up as well. Not too shabby. Black interior on this one, kind of a blackish gray interior. And then there is your base deets right here. Of course, 1231 is your man number for this 2020 Mercedes-Benz. Actually a little bit older than I thought. 2020 Matchbox, so that casting's been around for just a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. All right, next one up, number 84 of 125. This is our Ford Fiesta MK2. This was a brand spanking new casting in the last batch of 2024. And now we get a recolor straight up in 2025, which is okay. I think it's helps production costs a little bit for the Mattel team, which I think is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There is the model right there. Seems like we just viewed this just yesterday, doesn't it seem like? Full front and rear tampos on this one. It's pretty standard quote for Matchbox. Matchbox pretty much does that with most models. Looks pretty good. The Ford symbol on there looks pretty good as well. It does say Ford in there, which is some pretty nice details. No decos on the side. Again, this one is right-hand drive. Deets in the back look good. It says Fiesta on there. Fiesta MK2 on the plates. Taillight details look pretty good. Ford symbol again. A little bit of an integrated windshield wiper there for the hatch. Very interesting to get some prints along the edges of the hatch in the back. Always interesting. Nothing particularly fancy about that. I just thought it was a little bit interesting. There is the base deets right there. 1446 for this kind of an emerald green, kind of a light emerald green, which looks pretty good. Always nice to have more hot hatches in the mix for sure. All right, our next one up, 46 of 125, another Mercedes, another model that was brand new last year, debuted in white, now in gold, the 230 SL 1963. Get this one popped out of there. This one was also used as a Leipzig dinner model for the Germany convention. There is the prints on the front. Again, full front and rear tampos. Looks very, very good. Grille looks very, very good. Headlight prints look good as well. Disc hub wheels for this one as well. Full prints on those. The outer ring and the center chrome ring. Interior looks decent. It's a little bit better than most models. You can see down in there's a little bit of pedal detail in the very bottom. It's part of the chrome base, which is okay. Details on the back look pretty good. It says 230SL on the plate. It says 230SL on the deck lid, as well as the Mercedes logo. The taillights are very nice and crisp with this nice chrome base, black interior, and then there is your base deets on the bottom right here. 1437 is the man number for this particular casting, debuting for just the second time in the Matchbox range. All right, next one up, number 96 of 125. This one is a pretty decent one, 2016 Ford Interceptor Utility. This casting's been around for quite some time. This model has a very interesting sized blister, and it probably has to do with the huge side mirrors that it has on the model itself. So we'll get this cracked out. This model is utilizing a deco that we have seen quite a bit. This Matchbox County Police. We have seen that on the moving parts Ram ambulance. It's also been on a real working rig as well. I do anticipate this will probably get a few more decos as time goes on. Disc hub wheels again on this one, just the center hub decoed up. The taillight prints on the back and the little bit of headlight print on the front is done with a side pass. It looks okay, but if you look at it from the pack, typically it doesn't look that well. This one's actually not too bad. You can see some taillight details on there, but the front, it's makes the model look a little bit weird. It definitely makes it look like not an Explorer, not an Interceptor utility for sure. Tow hook on this one, which is pretty nice. These mirrors, like I said, are very, very large. Integrated light bar. Deco on the other side is exactly the same. Matchbox County Police, number 71. And then your base details, as always, 1179 is your man number. 2018 Mattel rocking on that particular guy there. All right, we're going to move on to our brand spanking new castings for this mix. Number 7 of 125. Brand new for 2025. This is your 2024 Ford Explorer BEV. Looking interesting. Card art looks pretty good. I think the card art looks better than the casting itself, but we'll get this open, take a look at it. Pretty prototypical for, sorry about that. Pretty prototypical for SUV build with Matchbox these days, having the plastic roof, which covers up most of the model itself. It does keep the metal content down, which of course keeps product cost down, but it doesn't look all that great. I do like the decos on the front of this one. The Ford symbol is very nice and crisp. There's a little bit of print on the bottom as well. That is part of the base for that little silver striping. I think that's really, really nice. They put that extra effort in there. No print on the side. Does utilize the D10 wheels. Nice integration for side marker or side mirrors on this particular one to keep that detail in there. And then there is your details in the back. Says Explorer. Taillights look pretty good. The craziness going on in the bottom of the bumpers, interesting. Not seen one of these in real life, so kind of hard to compare the source material. 1488 is your man number for the 2024 Ford Explorer BEV. Battery electric vehicle is what that stands for, by the way, in case anybody was curious. All right, our next brand new casting for the mix, 93 of 125. Again, new for 2025. This is your MBX Field Car convertible. The card art looks ridiculously cool. Model, not so much. Not so much. We'll get this guy cracked out of here. Now, they've done the Field Car. The Field Car was actually done as a kind of a retro throwback to the original Field Car from way back in the day, which was basically an International Scout. I don't like the fact that Matchbox just shrinks down the size of the casting to make these off-road tires look way big. This casting is super, super small now by comparison. I'm not opposed to the design. I'm not opposed to making this convertible car, but I don't like this style of just shrinking down. They've done the same thing with the International Scout. They've also given this basically the same deco we've seen on the regular Field Car, which is an interesting take on it. There's a little logo there on the front. It's just the M logo for Matchbox. And then it says FC on the side. Not really sure what the FC is for. Oh, Field Car. There we go. All right. And then there is some deets on the back. Just has a handle detail and stuff like that. It does have an integrated tow hitch. You see, a lot of these models are going to have a lot more tow hitches on them. I think Matchbox team is going to have a big emphasis on that for this year. Deco on the other side is exactly the same. Details on the inside, sorry about that, are pretty average as well. I do like the yellow tinted window. I think that actually looks pretty good on this particular model. But other than that, not great things to say about this particular one. $14.94 is your brand spanking new man number. So $14.94, we're getting up there in the numbers for sure. We'll put our Field Car in right there. And then the very last brand new casting we have for this mix number 1, 65 of 125, brand new for 2025, officially licensed Toyota product. This is your new 2024 Toyota Tacoma. The card art is just absolutely fantastic. That looks so ridiculously good. I don't even think the casting is going to look anywhere near as good as that card art looks. But let's get this guy cracked out of here. I did see this model at the Gathering in 2024 in July. So I've had a little bit of perspective on this particular casting for a little bit. It's pretty nice. I was pretty excited for it at the time. And I think it's, it's got kind of the same effect for me. Brand new casting for this year based on, obviously, the actual real Tacoma. So full front and rear decos on there. Does have Tacoma embossed in the back. Little bit of print down there in the corner of the tailgate. Just too small to read. No tailgate or no tow hitch or nothing on this one. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I think the proportions are pretty good on this one. Again, they got to make it fit in the blister. I just think it should have been just a little bit longer. I think the proportions are a little off. The card art looked pretty good. The base deets are pretty nice. It's got an enormously large transmission in there, which is hilarious. This one appears to be a two-wheel drive model, not a four-wheel drive model, but that's okay. 1519 is the man number on this one. Other than that, the base deets does have some pretty good details on there, something we don't typically get. And of course, there is an interior in there because, of course, there is. It's a brand spanking new casting. Now, if you are lucky enough to maybe get the first cream of the crop at the mix right there, you will find the very first Super Chase of the year. This is the very first Super Chase of 2025 for the A case. This is your Audi R8 Super Chase. This casting hasn't been seen all that much in several years. It's kind of popped up as a reissue in a 5-pack, I think maybe once. But it's not been rolling around. You get that popped out of there. They don't have like logos or nothing in the back like Hot Wheels does. Nothing on the back of the card art is anything particularly different either. You see right there, it does state there will be 6 Super Chases this year. So Super Chases are going up. That's good. Typically we get 4 a year. We're going to get 6 Super Chases this year. So that's a very, very, very good sign. As a matter of fact, the very next Super Chase will be in the D case, which is actually not going to be too far out there. So there is our R8 Super Chase. Matchbox still has some issues with putting the rubber on the wheels. See, it just, I don't know if it pulls the chrome printing off of there or if it's just tire residue, but you can see it just doesn't look all that good around the edges. But as far as this model goes, of course, it has full tampo, all 4 sides on it because it's a Super Chase. It does say Super Chase Audi R8 in the plate. The front prints are pretty good. They're not great, but they're pretty good. I'm a little disappointed they're not like, the high quality inkjet style printing. They're just the normal pad prints. SE on the side for Super Chase. Then there is the deets in the back. The same plate is done up. The taillights look pretty good. The intricate detail of the headlight or the taillights look pretty good. The carbon bits and the exhaust tips, those don't look all that great. Again, just pad printing on there. The blade looks pretty good on the side for the carbon blade. A little bit of print on there for the gas cap. So it looks pretty good. And then just a black stripe that runs down the majority of the car, which is also pretty nice. Base deets on there. It does have a plastic base, definitely not metal on metal. MB726 for your 2007 Audi R8. So this casting is very, very, very old, but nice to see it still chugging around, looking very, very good. So there you go. That is Mix number 1, 2025 Matchbox batch review. We're going freestyle for this year. Let me know what you think about the new format. Let me know what you think about the new intro, because it's here to stay, and I'd love to hear your comments on it. But anyways, we're going to roll on. Batches are going to come fast and furious this year. We'll catch you next time on Level M. Peace.